Here we go, guys. Front mount intercooler going on. I don't know how long this video is going to take me to do. I do have a few days up my sleeve. I've never done this before, so bear with me. This video still may not even make it onto YouTube. Here we go, we've got the HPD intercooler front mount. It's the full kit. So it even comes with the fans and everything, all the bits that we need. So the aim of the game is actually to get the front mount in and ready, and whatever holes that need to be done get done as well. We're going to leave the standard stock setup in there for the time being, but we've got to get this front mount done before new turbo, new intake, new exhaust manifold goes on as well. So the aim of the game is to get this front mount in first and mounted. So I left this video off with me washing all this down. It's all dry now, and we've got the whole kit open. There's a fair bit of gear in there, and I've gone through the instructions. There's some instructions that won't apply to this install simply because we're going high mount manifold in there. I will be removing all of this more than likely today or tomorrow. I'm also going to be removing the whole intercooler off the top, but that's not going to happen until we do intake manifold in a further video, and that's also going to happen when the turbo and high rise manifold gets put on as well. So all we're doing today is getting this intercooler in. So we've got to remove all of this, basically absolutely everything that you see here. Now I will be going without a winch for a while. I think I will have to extend these cables, move this control box in here somewhere. I'm still not too sure where, but yeah, it's got to happen. So I'm pretty sure I've actually got to remove the headlights as well, just to be safe. Gonna get stuck into it. Alrighty, well I did have a sneaky suspicion that I was gonna have to do a bit more gurneying. As you can see, it needs a little bit of love in there. Pulled everything off as much as I possibly can, and then I've got to fit new condenser fans as per the instructions. So I've got to check that they're facing the right way as well with the aircon on, so I'll have to wire them up probably tomorrow. I'll see how I go today. I'm running out of daylight now, and I'll give this a good clean first because I don't want to have any rubbish left behind in between. As everyone knows, the TDs can get a bit warm, so the last thing you want to do is leave rubbish behind if you can clean it out while you're doing such a big extensive job on the front end. So we've dumped all the coolant, ripped the radiator out. It looks like it needs some love and cleaning too. Got the thermos mounted, but the kit doesn't come with the little thermo zip tie mounts, so I had to go and get them from Super Cheap. I'm going to cut all the tags off now. As you can see, it leaves all these tags behind, but it's much easier with the radiator out of the way to put them in. And obviously had to lift this up out of the way to get the radiator out as well. Good fun. So I have a great success. I've used the 4-pin plug from the original fan, and it actually has 4 wires obviously, so I used them to wire it up, but I did have to make sure that the fans were spinning the right way, because the way that they're set up, being universal fans, the blue is actually a negative on these for them to blow through the condenser, being universal fans. So as you can see, we've used the zip tie style mounts to the condenser that goes straight through the condenser core. We've cut them off completely. All the edges are cut off. So now I'm pretty much ready to stick the intercooler on. So as you can see, in the factory mounting position, we've got this bracket, these brackets on here as well, and this bracket here as well. So I've got to take all these brackets off and then stick P-clamps on the sides here and here and here. Got to figure out how they mount up. That's what the instructions say. So I've got to get rid of these factory mounts basically and take that off as well, so that the power steering cooler can go in here, and figure out how this goes. Alright, I've still got a bit of a gap down there. Don't know if you can see that. Power steering lines, I've had to flip this over completely, rotate it so that the power steering cooler actually sits in the right spot according to the diagram. It's very hard having a look at the diagram because it is actually for a Series 4. Now when you look at that, you can see I've actually placed a piece of rubber in where the center strut tower is, or bonnet latch tower is. I've put a piece of rubber in there so because of how close it is. It doesn't say anything about how close it is in the instructions, unfortunately. So now it's time to start running some hole saws through the sides. Nerve-wracking. Alright, so I've dummied it up and pretty happy with how the piping went, to be honest. And yeah, drilling the hole saws is obviously the most nerve-wracking part, but I ended up pulling them open a bit more with pliers just to make the hole a little bit bigger, so I didn't have to worry about it too much. So I've just got to tidy up the grommet here for the power steering lines, but as you can see, managed to get the pipe all the way through around that bend without any crushing of the hose, which I'm really happy about, and blanked off the ends here. So if it needs to be changed at all, Owen will change it. Yeah, I just pretty much we'll just move it around to where we need it when we got to change to the high-rise manifold and get rid of that entire system of the top mount. So for now, what I've got to do is figure out where the bull bar is going to sit and see if it's happy. But first off, I've already washed out the radiator completely. First off, I've got to put that back in, stick the top mount back on properly, and then stick the bull bar and headlights in place just to see what, if anything, is going to clash with this. Hopefully nothing clashes. So we've got the radiator back in, everything plumbed back up, water topped back up. Now I'm not too sure if we'll be putting the winch wiring back in yet, because I'm still not sure if the winch is going to clash, but we've got one headlight back in now. About to do the other side, probably stick the grill on, see how that feels, then take the grill back off and try and get this bull bar on, see how it goes. So I haven't filmed too much because it's been a little bit of a mission, but lost the winch, can't fit. It's pretty close, but not going to risk it whatsoever. I'll probably punch a hole through the intercooler, to be honest. So last little stretch, we had to shave down the grill a little bit as well, shave down the bottom of the grill a fair bit for it to fit, and then I've just tidied up all the wiring coming in behind here. So not too far off now, the car being running and ready to go, and then test run, check coolant, check everything else, and see how it goes. It's going to be a little bit lighter in the front without the winch now. It's going to be a bit weird, but that intercooler was actually pretty heavy too, so almost even out. Well, bull bar is on. It is sitting a little bit lower than I would like, but it's the only way that we could get it in nicely. We have a few millimeters to spare all the way along that edge. So what I might do eventually is trim from here all the way along there with a grinder, just to give us a little bit more room to play with. But it's on there. Take it for a drive, to be honest. Would be nice if the intercooler was plumbed in so I could check the EGTs, but I'm very, very happy with how that turned out for not having a clue how to do it in the first place. Thanks for watching.